A very good morning to everyone. In this video, we will study another topic of lesson reproduction in plants, that is vegetative propagation. So let's begin it. Vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction is the production of new plants from the vegetative parts of the plant. Now, what is vegetative parts of the plant? Roots, stems and leaves are the vegetative parts of the plant. Vegetative reproduction take place by two methods. The first one is natural method and the second one is artificial method. So let's study about the natural method first. Natural method of vegetative propagation. Now, what is natural method? Natural vegetative propagation take place from root, stem and leaves of the plant, and in this method plant reproduce naturally without the interference of human beings. Now let's study how natural vegetative propagation take place by roots, stems and leaves of a plant. First is by root. In some plants like sweet potatoes, vegetative reproduction takes place by roots. Sweet potatoes, which are roots, basically bears adventitious buds on them. You can see adventitious bud in the given picture. What are adventitious buds? When a bird grows from a position other than normal, it is called adventitious bird. Adventitious birds, when buried into the moist soil, grow and develop into a new plant. This you can see in the given picture that from a bird a new shoot is arising. So sweet potato reproduce by vegetative propagation. By stem, vegetative propagation can take place from the stem in ginger, onions and potatoes. In these plants, the stem bear small outgrowths called buds. When a cutting of such a stem along with the bud is buried in the moist soil, then a new plant develops from these buds. Stem tuber. What is stem tuber? Stem tubers are modified stems to store food. They are found in plants like potato. The tuber of potato is a swollen part of an underground stem which bears a number of nodes or eyes. You can see that the tuber of potato consists several of eyes in the given picture. Each eye bears one or more buds. You can see in the picture that the eyes bears buds. New plants are produced from the buds on the eyes. The buds which are present on the eyes give rise to a new potato plant. You can see in the given picture that a new potato plant is growing from the bird, and there is also a very small tiny plant which is arising from the bird, which is present on another eye of the potato. So this is how the potato reproduce. Bulbs. What are bulbs? Bulbs are underground stems that have extended, thick and fleshy leaves. Bulbs contain several buds near the nodes. You can see in the picture that the onion bulb consists the bud. This bud can eventually develop into a new plant. So in onion bulb, a bud is present which give rise to a new onion plant. So this is how the onion reproduce. Rhizome. What are rhizomes? Rhizomes are root-like stems. For example, ginger. You can see its picture. Ginger that grows horizontally under the ground. New roots and shoots form at the nodes, with shoots growing upward to form new plants. This you can see in the given picture. Lateral buds grow out to form new rhizomes. You can see the bird is present in a given picture, and this bird give rise to a new rhizomes. So this is all about rhizomes. Now let's study vegetative propagation by leaves. Leaves of some plants grow into a new plant. The new plants can detach from the leaves and develop into a full individual plant after falling on the ground. The leaves of Bryophyllum reproduce vegetatively by the formation of adventitious bud on their margins. Bryophyllum is reproduced vegetatively by the leaves. On the leaf margin of the Bryophyllum, adventitious buds are present. You can see the leaf of Bryophyllum in the given picture, and on the margins buds are present. When the buds come in contact with the moist soil, each bud becomes capable of growing into a new plant. The buds which are present on the margins of the Bryophyllum, when come in contact with moist soil, reproduce into a new individual. So Bryophyllum reproduce vegetatively by the formation of adventitious buds on the margins of leaf. Now let's study artificial method of vegetative propagation. In this method, reproduction is carried by humans on the fields and laboratories. This method involves taking a piece of one parent plant and causing it to regenerate itself into a new plant. Cutting, grafting, layering are different methods of artificial propagation. Cutting. In this method, part of a stem is cut and buried in moist soil in natural position. The part of the plant which is removed by cutting it from the parent plant is called a cutting. You can see in the given picture that a stem is cut from the parent plant and that stem is buried in a moist soil in natural position. After some time, roots develop from this cutting and it grows into a new plant. You can see in the given picture that a new plant is developing from the stem cutting. This method is commonly used in sugarcane and rose. So this is all about cutting. Second method of artificial vegetative propagation, grafting. In this method, the stems of two different plants are joined together so as to produce a new variety of fruit plants containing the characteristics of both. Out of two plants, one plant has a strong root system while the other has a strong shoot system. You can see this in the given picture that the stems of two different plants are joined together in order to produce a new variety. The plant of which the root system is taken is called stalk. You can see it in given picture. While the other plant of which the shoot is selected is called scion. You can see scion in given picture, or graft. Scion is also known as graft. The stalk and the scion are fitted together by making slanting cuts in them and bound tightly with a piece of cloth and then covered with a polythene sheet. You can see it in a given picture that two stems are joined together by a piece of cloth. This method of propagation is used in mango, apple, rose, banana and many other fruit plants. So this is all about grafting. Layering. Layering is another artificial method. In this method, a branch of the plant is lowered down and bent towards the ground and then covered with the moist soil, leaving just the tip of this branch above the ground. You can see this in a given picture that a branch is lowered down and bent towards the ground and it is covered with a moist soil. After some time, roots develop from that buried part of the branch. You can see in the given picture that roots are developed from the buried part of the branch. This branch is then cut off along with the roots from the parent plant and develops into a new plant. You can see that a new plant is developed in the given picture. This method of asexual reproduction is used in production of plants such as bougainvillea, jasmine and grapes. So this is all about layering and artificial method of vegetative propagation. Thank you, students.